Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to your daily dose of awesome. Your life 15 minutes of daily motivation, inspiration, and education so you can get your day started right. Now, I'm using a selfie stick right now because something is wrong with our Facebook fan page. I think it's broken, so parts of it aren't working. Some parts are, so it's a little screwy, and so that's why I just decided to take out my backup telephone here and do a little Facebook Live with my selfie stick. So I don't know. So this is my office. What's up, guys? And today's topic, I wanted to actually share a little bit of my story because I think it'll help you glean a few insights. One, I'm not very different from many of you, and two, the journey that I've gone through with regards to starting from zero in this industry can parallel many journeys that are watching this right now. And so I wanted to share a little bit of my story and show you the path that I followed, so hopefully you can avoid some of the mistakes that I made in building my network marketing and ultimately my internet marketing empire, quote unquote, and then also follow the things that I did right. So again, my name is Freddie Sabaus, and if you don't know who we are or who I am, I'm a lead generation and online marketing expert specializing in helping home business owners, that's network marketers, affiliate marketers, direct sellers, multiply their incomes using the internet. Now, I built my first six-figure network marketing business within a couple years of discovering the information we teach here at Elite Marketing Pro. And over the past 10 years, I've been responsible for over $11 million in gross income into my home businesses and have helped our clients produce hundreds of millions of dollars collectively in their businesses as well. What we do works. It is proven. It has been proven for the past over a decade, past even 15 years. Since we've been online. And so what I want to share with you today is actually a little bit of my story. Hey, what's up, Jim? How's it going, man? You guys hear? Let me know you guys can hear me okay. Just comment in the section below. I'm using this different telephone and I didn't test it or anything, so let me know if you guys can hear me all right. Anyway, so if you're new to our broadcast, every single day, Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, we do this broadcast, and here we're here to impart as much wisdom as we possibly can. I usually do this broadcasting using fasting software off my desktop, and we have special guests, six-figure and seven-figure, even eight-figure earners in the network marketing and internet marketing space. And so today, okay, Amanda, let me know if the rest of you guys can hear me. I want to make sure that everything's cool. And so anyway. I'm broadcasting on my phone with my selfie stick because something's wrong on our desktop, on our Facebook fan page, and some features are broken. So, what's up, Glenn? How's it going, buddy? All right, man. So if you're new to our broadcast, like I said, I highly recommend you subscribe. You can basically click on the video in the top right corner, and there ellipsis symbol will show up. Ellipsis is ... Click on that again, and then you'll be able to turn on notifications. First, you'll be able to like our fan page and follow us, and then you'll be able to turn on notifications for every time we go live. We go live again every Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern. And so you can either tune in live or you can watch the recording later. Either way, you assure yourself that you're going to get valuable training every single day during the week. Also, if you're watching this on desktop, you can simply go right above the description, click on our logo. That'll take you to our fan page. On our fan page, click liked. And then once you like the fan page, under the button following, you can click there and choose to turn on notifications and make sure you get notified every time we go live with our daily broadcast here with a daily dose of awesome here at Elite Marketing Pro. So with that said, I want to actually share a little bit of my story. We have a lot of new members here at Elite Marketing Pro who may not be familiar, and I actually want to share at the end of this broadcast. I'm going to post a link to a documentary that was put together about my journey in this industry, which hopefully will inspire you. And so I'm going to share that. That documentary was created for the promotions of No Excuses 6. So obviously now we're at No Excuses 8. That's coming up. That's our biggest, our live event, the biggest and most popular generic online network marketing event in the world. And so that's there. I'll be putting that link so you guys can learn a little bit more about me. But if you don't know who I am, you've never heard my story, I wanted to share a little bit. Now, my name is Fernie. It's short for Fernando. Both my parents were born in Mexico, and they immigrated to the United States. Actually, my dad immigrated during the Kennedy era, and my mom during the 80s. Actually, not the 80s, in the 70s. And so I grew up in a pretty happy household. So there's no real tragic story from the standpoint of my childhood. I just had wonderful parents and grew up in East Los Angeles. So we grew up in a Mexican neighborhood, not very poor. We technically qualified for food stamps and public assistance, but yeah, my dad refused to take it. He was committed to making sure that the only person that took care of his family was himself, no matter what. And just that's the type of guy he was. He was just the person that took responsibility for his life and his family, and so an inspiration. I mean, you could say the only tragic event in my childhood, which was a big one, was losing him at age 13. And that really, I think that in a way probably inspired me to work harder in school and to make him proud. And so I actually, long story short, ended up doing really well in school. Did all the things I was told. Behave yourself, get good grades, do your homework, all that stuff. And long story short, I actually was accepted into the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, and I went to MIT for my undergraduate work, and I studied electrical engineering and computer science at the most prestigious institution in the world. The number one, consistently the number one college in the world, according to many, all those posters and different, USA Today and whatever other magazines are out there as it relates to top colleges. And so I was literally, I went from going from East LA, being surrounded by people who aren't doing so well, very wonderful people, wonderful culture, but it was just, not the, the most academically focused culture in the world, to being at a world-class institution surrounded by literally the smartest people in the world. And so that was a huge jump, and I was excited. And one of the interesting things I want to point out, even though I had an amazing time at MIT, it was extremely difficult. I met incredible friends. So it was extremely difficult, yet I met incredible friends, had an incredible time from a social standpoint. But I did struggle with, it wasn't because I wasn't smart enough that I struggled at MIT. It was just I wasn't passionate about the work. It wasn't until much later that I realized that I wasn't really, my heart wasn't into engineering. Unfortunately, I spent 4 years kind of pushing through that curriculum. The interesting thing about going to school at a school like MIT is that they actually sold me a dream. When I went there, and this might sound familiar to some of you in the network marketing space, they actually sold me a dream. They basically saying that now that I'm at this institution, my life is set. I'm not gonna have any trouble getting a job. I'm gonna be able to write my own ticket for the rest of my life, and I'll be financially free, basically. And so that's the vision that I was sold when I entered that school. And so the curriculum and the environment matched the dream. I expected to work hard, and I expected to be surrounded and challenged by people way smarter than I was. And to this day, literally some of my best friends are some of the most brilliant people in the world, the smartest people, literally the smartest people in the world. And so I have I'm very grateful for that experience. Yet I wasn't, at the time I didn't realize that I wasn't fully passionate about engineering. Moving forward, I actually graduated from MIT within 4 years. So I was very proud of that I made it. But when I came out, I realized that the dream that I was sold about becoming financially independent and being able to write my own ticket wasn't really true, unless I decided to create my own startup and join the Silicon Valley world and create some sort of innovative technology or social network. That I was doomed, just like everybody else who went to college, no matter what college you went to. I was doomed to actually work at a job and work in the aerospace industry, and worked in aerospace for quite 5 years. And within a couple of days of being there, I realized that's not what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And so from that point on, I just started searching. I worked on top secret space programs for the government. Lots of defense contracts, work on world-class classified radars. There's a cool story about, me working on the Hubble twins. So some of you guys don't know that there's a Hubble Space Telescope, which is world famous, but there were other twin telescopes that were created that were classified. And guess what? Those telescopes didn't point out to the stars, they pointed into the planet. So I worked on that highly classified program, and it was recently made public that those telescopes exist, which is why I'm telling you now. So anyway, so despite being introduced and being a part of an exclusive club with regards to the aerospace industry here in the United States, I just wasn't happy. I wasn't fulfilled. I didn't like, waking up in the morning, chugging through traffic and spending basically 2 hours a day, stuck in traffic and trying to get to work. And then once getting to work, really feeling like I'm wasting my life away at what otherwise would be an incredible job. And, most people would kill for the job I had, the cushy job I had. But I just wasn't happy. I wasn't fulfilled. And so I started searching, and I ended up, because I had no other, options, I was never taught entrepreneurship or anything like that, I just decided to go back to school. Some of you may be familiar with this. I decided to go back to school because that's what our brain has been brainwashed to default to when we're looking for a change in our career. Whoa, we're just going to go back to school and get a degree in something else or get my MBA or whatever. So that's what I did. I went back to school and started trying to get my master's in engineering, and I did get my master's. While there, I met an individual that introduced me to network marketing for the first time. And he invited me to his house, an engineer also, and then the person presenting was also an engineer. In fact, he was a triple major graduate from Caltech, super smart dude. And so imagine this, I'm sitting in a living room, I'm surrounded by all these nerds, and I'm thinking, hey, they're going to talk to me about possibly joining some sort of internet startup, and I'm going to live that Silicon Valley dream. And then they started drawing circles. and as those circles started looking like a pyramid. And I was like, is this one of those pyramid deals? What's going on? I thought I was here to talk about some internet startup. And, even though that seemed sketchy to me, even though I did not have any desire to get involved in the network marketing space, and if I had an inkling that this was about, network marketing and these pyramid deals as I thought they were, I wouldn't have, I probably wouldn't have gone to the meeting and made up some excuse. But thank God that I actually showed up to that meeting, because in the end of the day, what happened, and probably with a lot of you guys, when you got started in the network marketing space, even though there's negative impression about the industry, and it's only getting worse, and even though it seems difficult, you don't feel like a salesperson, so you don't want to do it from that standpoint. Come up with all these excuses as to why not to do it. Yet, in the end of the day, it was the only option anyone ever offered me that gave me a way out of my unhappiness and unfulfillment from my work. And that's simply the reason why I ended up joining the network marketing space, because I hated my job more than I hated the idea of being involved in network marketing. And so from there, I went down the rabbit hole. In fact, I became one of the top recruiters in my organization. In the time, in the first part of my career, in the time that it took me to recruit 17 people, my sponsor had only recruited one person, and that person was me. He struggled in the industry more than I did, but I was actually able to build a decent sized team. But the problem is, the skills that I had were kind of natural to me in terms of recruiting. I actually, in my MIT days, I was a top recruiter in my fraternity, and had developed my recruiting skills as a frat boy during rush week. And so those skills kind of were developed naturally, and so I didn't know how to teach them. I didn't know how to impart these recruiting skills to my team members. And so unless I was there in the meeting recruiting for them, it just wasn't happening. My duplication sucked, and my team dwindled. And the organization I was involved in wasn't very helpful in terms of teaching me the things I needed to learn to understand why I'm a good recruiter, and to understand how to help and teach other people how to be strong recruiters and strong retails of the product as well. And so I ended up going online, and I ended up finding this exact community, Elite Marketing Pro. Back then it was known as Magnetic Sponsoring. I found a capture page, this website, just like a lot of you. They offered me a free free newsletter or a free boot camp in exchange for my name and email, and promised to teach me a new way of building my network marketing business. And that essentially was the upturn in my story as far as network marketing is concerned. I will say within 2 years of finding this community, finding this training, I was able to quit my job. I was able to earn multiple six figures in my home business, both in network marketing and with internet marketing, through affiliate marketing, through my own products, etc. So I had developed multiple streams of income, and before the end of 2008 into 2009, I was a six-figure earner alone in my network marketing opportunity, and it was all thanks to this training. However, I did say there was 2 years that passed between when I discovered this information and when I actually had my success, and those 2 years were key. During those 2 years, this might scare some of you. My first year, I found this community. I plugged into the system. I made my first $10,000 ever utilizing the internet in my business. The problem is I got distracted, and I started looking outside of this community for other things. I started looking at all the random trainings that were out there on traffic generation, on building funnels, on copywriting, etc. And before I knew it, I had shelled out over $90,000 in training and coaching and other stuff that was, outside of this community, outside of this safe zone, so to speak. And that was an important lesson. Now, I learned a ton from other sources, and I'm not saying that if you find something valuable outside of this community, you should invest. You absolutely should consider it. However, know that my goal ever since I got involved in Elite Marketing Pro has been to create an environment where you don't have to look elsewhere. Create resources so that anytime you need to learn something new as it relates to building your business online. Hey, Michelle, how's it going? That it can be provided to you as part of your membership here at Elite Marketing Pro, so you don't have to spend money unnecessarily. I was, putting down $2-3 grand for an info product, a course that I actually never went through, and I did that multiple times. I even invested in these coaching programs on mindset that had nothing to do with my business, and they really didn't teach much about mindset. They were just taking my money, and so I spent $90,000, and the one saving grace was that at a certain point towards the end of those 2 years, I had an opportunity to be mentored. So plug back in to the system and be mentored by Tim Irway and Mike Dillard, the original founders of the system, and Tim Irway is now my partner. And I was able to plug in. And once I was able to plug in, and with the addition of another mentor who I literally paid $60,000 to work with, those were the best $60,000 I ever spent. And I didn't have $60,000. I had to go on a payment plan. But finally, somebody was willing to basically allow me to look under the hood of their business, Mike, Tim, and this other mentor, John. And they were able to allow me to just look under their hood and see exactly how their business worked. And what surprised me was the simplicity of the business. That I didn't have to go out and spend all this money, $90,000, almost $100,000, on these outside trainings and courses, because essentially they were willing to help me directly if I was willing to listen and learn. And so what we've created, that was the point of where, from the point of when I started directly being mentored by these three individuals, my business went from, losing a ton of money to being able to quit my job within 9 months and be earning 6 figures, and then eventually towards the end of that year, multiple 6 figures collectively in the different income streams I had, including network marketing, which was by itself a 6-figure income. And so the lesson I wanted to share with you guys is stay plugged into our community. Whatever community you're a part of, if you think you're getting what you need, then stay plugged in. Don't get distracted by too many things. What I've worked to do here at Elite Marketing Pro is to make sure that Elite Marketing Pro can provide you all the positive things that I experience in terms of mentorship and coaching, and eliminate the waste, eliminate the stuff that ended up costing me a lot of time and a lot of money. My 2-year journey from finding attraction marketing and becoming financially independent could have been a lot shorter. It could have been, cut by at least half if I had stayed plugged into my mentors and just simply reached out and say, hey, what does it take for me to get help directly from you? And those are the opportunities we offer here at Elite Marketing Pro. We start you off slow. We start you off with feeding you a little bit, and immediately, no matter how new you are to our community, we plug you into a mentor, a coach that will teach, coach you one-on-one and guide you and tell you what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, and help you correct course in a very nice way so that you don't waste time, because time, is precious, and 2, you don't waste money on things that aren't unnecessary. So that's the moral of my story is staying plugged into this community. We have been around literally since 2004. So you know, when we were Magnetic Sponsoring, now we're Elite Marketing Pro. And somebody made a comment recently about longevity. Our community has longevity. We're basically the longest running mentorship platform in the network marketing space as it relates to teaching you new ways of building using the internet. And so what I recommend you guys do, whoever shared this video with you, I highly recommend you click on the link in the description. And if you're watching this on our fan page, simply go to elitemarketingpro.com, and then at elitemarketingpro.com you will find some freebies you can actually download. You can actually download a free social media recruiting guide, and then learn more about our more advanced training on social media recruiting. And you can also download a 10-day recruiting bootcamp that shows you the exact strategies that I used to go in 2006 to go from struggling in network marketing, having my downline disappear, to becoming financially independent 2 years later. Ultimately, by 2012, you know, I became a you know, my accountant told me that I had made $1.1 million in my business, and that was pretty cool hearing that from my accountant. And since then, been doing multiple seven figures. Collectively, over the past 10 years, I've done over $11 million in gross income, and it continues to grow. And the key was being a part of this community, being a part of Elite Marketing Pro. So I hope this video is inspiring to you. I hope it gives you a path. I hope it, at the very least, you know, helps you focus on one thing, one mentorship program that can really help you and keep you from getting distracted by too many different gurus and options out there. Not that those options are bad, but if you are unfocused and jumping around, you're not going to get very far. You're going to end up spending a lot of money, you know, in getting nowhere. So that's the moral for the story. That's why I wanted to share my story today. Hopefully it helped you guys, and I'm so glad I was able to do this. I'm even doing it on my selfie stick. I usually do this off my desktop with a nice lower third, but either way, I'm glad I'm able to share this story. So what's up, guys? Hope you guys have an awesome weekend. I will be back on Monday to impart some more wisdom, and maybe with a special guest trainers. Here we have trainers that are 6-figure and 7-figure earners in the network marketing and the internet marketing space. And so my commitment to you is that every time you tune in, you get a huge nugget, if not a huge lesson that's going to help you in your business. Take care, everybody. Have an awesome day. Bye, Michelle. Take care.